So how often should you be publishing on your website? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Hello YouTube, and a very special hello to all my subscribers. My name's Phil. Welcome to my channel if you're joining me for the first time. This is where I document my journey building my online income. And if this is something you're trying to do as well, why not subscribe to the channel and also leave me a like? It really helps me out. Okay, so today I want to talk about how often we should be publishing on our websites. And also, I'm going to be talking about something called the Content Warrior Challenge. So how many posts have you published in the last month? Leave me a comment with a number and see if you've done more than I have in the last month. Okay, so basically the information I could find online was a bit confusing because often they're talking about blogging. Now, personally, I don't think that I'm a blogger. Although my website is basically a blog, I'm not a traditional blogger. I'm not just writing about my day or my thoughts or things that I want to share with people. I am targeting particular queries that I found in Google and answering those queries within my niche. And that for me is not traditional blogging. So when you see information like you should be writing every single day, well, that may work for you. However, if you're writing very short articles every single day, I don't think this is going to help you out. However, if you, like me, you have a lot of free time during the day and you're writing what we would call pillar posts, so these very long posts that take you 6 to 8 hours to write, that's perfectly possible within each day. But I would say that you're going to get burnout pretty quickly. So the whole idea about publishing is the more you publish, the more likely you are to build up traffic. It's just because every single post is another chance, another opportunity to find traffic. And once you find those types of posts that really take off for you in your niche, that's when you're going to double down. So I want to give you some numbers. I want to talk about my publishing schedule over the last 9 months or so, and just to kind of explain where I think I've been quite strong in my schedule and where maybe I'm lagging behind a little bit. So let's have a look at those numbers. So I started my main Project 24 website back in May, the 21st of May 2019, and I started the 60 steps. Now, if you don't know what the 60 steps are, it's the main course in Project 24, which has been set up by Income School, so Jim Harmer and Ricky Kessler. And it's designed to take you through step by step how to build a website, how to get traffic to that website, and then how to monetize that traffic. And to be honest, you probably could find this information online, but what the guys have done is they've put everything in a very easy to follow course, and I cannot praise it more highly. It's so useful, and I would recommend it to anyone. If this is something that you haven't heard about, then check out the link in the description and you'll go to a webinar and it will explain everything. Just remember that if you do choose to purchase through the link, then it is an affiliate link and I do get a commission, which I really do appreciate. But I would recommend it even if you don't use my link. You need to get into Project 24. Okay, so the main core course of Project 24 is the 60 steps, which takes you from starting the blog on day one to having 30 posts and 10 videos on YouTube. Now, I started this on, as I said, the 21st of May, and in that first month, I managed to get 19 posts up onto my website, all published, images and everything. And then in June, I had 8 posts, plus 10 videos for YouTube, which obviously takes a little bit of time for editing and things like that. In July, I managed to get 8 posts up again, but by this time I had just finished the 60 steps and I had been watching the other videos in the other courses that come as part of the Project 24 package. So I was doing a lot of learning during that first 3 months. So yeah, I still feel like I was writing a lot, but I was also learning quite a lot there. Then in September, so I did my first Content Warrior Challenge. So the Content Warrior Challenge, which I'll talk about a little bit later on, is the idea that you will try to write 60,000 words in 1 month. So it's quite challenging, but it is very useful for your business. So in September, I pushed out 25 posts, which were, for me, I think that was quite impressive. And they were a mix of shorter posts around 1,300 words and longer posts around 3,500 words. In October, I was pretty burned out, and you can watch a video all about this where I spoke about my first experience in Content Warrior Challenge. And I only managed to get one post out on my main site. In November, I only got 4 posts out. In December, also only 4. But it was the end of the year, and we all know we're pretty busy there. In January, I only managed to get 1 post out again, and in February, only 2 posts. However, that was on my main site. In October, I launched 2 new sites. So I found some writers on Facebook, and I paid them to write my post. I taught them how to write it properly. And so I was editing those posts, I was finding images. So since October, on the 2 other sites that I've got, I managed to publish 59 posts. So although my first site probably suffered a little bit, the other 2 sites, they got a lot of content onto them. And in fact, one of them is not too far behind the main site at the moment, which I'm pretty impressed about. I must have done something special with that one. So in addition to those 59 posts on site 2 and site 3, I've also started a new project with a colleague, and we're actually launching a YouTube channel today. It's called the IELTS Grind, and it's all about teaching an English exam, which is called the IELTS. And with my colleague, we've pre-recorded about 23 videos ready for this launch. And I've been busy editing them in addition to filming them. Although my publishing schedule has actually slowed down on site 1, I haven't been idle. I have been doing other things. So I don't think it's affected me too much, but I'm definitely going to change that this month. This month, March, I'm going to do my second Content Warrior Challenge. And again, I'm going to try and write those 60,000 words. I managed it last time in September, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to do it again this time. So I just want to give you a couple of tips. If you're in Project 24 and you've never done the Content Warrior Challenge, this will really help you out. If you're not in Project 24, you can still do this yourself. You can give yourself a little bit of a push in March, and you will really see the benefits of having 60 or 60,000 plus words on your website. So the first thing is you need a hit list. You need a list of queries that you're going to be answering. You need to give each of those queries a great title, and you need to have that ready before you start writing. So my advice is to go through search analysis, go onto Google, find auto suggest or auto complete queries just through Google, and then check the competition. Write yourself titles so you have 30 posts all ready to go, and then double check. Go back, do search analysis again. Really think, is that query a beginner level query, or is it more sort of a intermediate to expert type query? The reason why you want beginner level queries is simply there will be more beginners in a niche than experts. As you start getting towards the type of information that people that are more well versed in that niche will know, or will need to know, you're going to see the traffic drop off. It's just the way it is. So make sure you really think, is that for a beginner? If you do that, then you'll be successful. Another thing to take into consideration is you don't want to write 30 posts all about the same sort of idea. So within your niche, you want to spread it out to different categories. So if we were talking about, let's say, dirt bikes, you might have a few posts about children riding dirt bikes. You might have a few posts planned for maintenance of dirt bikes. You might have a few posts about certain brands of dirt bikes. Just spread it out. That way, in about 8 months' time, you will see what works and what doesn't work. And when you find a post or a category of posts that's really working for you, that's when you can double down and you can produce more posts on a similar topic. And the last thing I would really say about the Content Warrior Challenge is quality over quantity. I really struggled with my first time in the Content Warrior Challenge because I was so eager to get to the target that I have to admit I fluffed a little bit. So sometimes in a post I would write a little bit extra, a couple hundred words, which probably didn't add anything to the user experience. So really do be mindful of quality. Although we do want you to write those 60,000 words, we don't want you to write 60,000 crap words basically. So quality over quantity. Even if you get 30,000 words that have been beautifully written, it's going to be more useful to you and your brand than 60,000 words of pure nonsense. So make sure that you do find that balance between quality and quantity. Although in Project 24 we only do a Content Warrior Challenge every 3 to 6 months, you can still do something similar on a monthly basis. If you give yourself a target of say 1 or 2 articles each week, then you will definitely be doing yourself a favor, because if you can produce around 10 to 30 posts each month, you are in the sweet spot. That is going to really help you get that critical mass of content onto your website, and if you can do this, then you will get the traffic you need to monetize and finally get your full-time income. So don't forget to leave me a comment. How many posts did you actually manage in the last month? And we can see if you can beat that this month. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you found this useful, and also if you give me a like, it really helps me out. I will see you next week when I will be talking about my figures for February and how my websites are doing, so don't miss that. I'll see you then.